So it is about tribal composition. There is nothing new here. There is nothing about Kenya.
And which has been what has charged the political landscape in Kenya. If we are to look at the 2013 coming together of TNA and URP, largely driven by two parties who at the time charged at the ICC for crimes against humanity, William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta. 2017, we saw the opposition come together under NASA outfit, Kalonzo Musyoka, Raila Odinga, Mudavadi and co, including Wetangula, and so was in 2022. What then is different with the Gachagua outfit?
Great.
Isn't Kenya an ethno-majoritarian democracy?
That is where the problem is, and that is what you should ask them. That what is so new, because we have seen these compositions before, and you have given an elaborate catalogue of some of those. And from where I sit, and we have gone beyond tribe as ODM party, and that is why we have representation everywhere. Unlike Mbui's party, which is only confined in the 4 counties of Ukambani.
But they do have representation equally across the country.
Well, the one they have, they fired. He just said here. That was the only one outside.
There are others.
That's the only one. I don't know, but I sit in Parliament. That is the only one. They fired. So, Fred Matiangi.
But then, Honorable Jared, how do you delink the president from equally being a party to that? Because you just said in your previous submissions that in the appointments, for example, he makes in cabinet, he considers regional balance. Basically, right. It's ethnic composition, is it?
No. Regions and ethnic compositions are totally different. And actually, regions are recognized in law.
So what then explains why, for example, Central Kenya region had a majority cabinet representation when the president formed his cabinet?
That you should ask them. Actually, the appointing authority. And that is where the problem is. They had 2 people controlling government at the time they were elected or announced. Let me use the word announced. Announced as winners. Yeah. You had Wamunyoro, who is now the head of Wamunyoro Rigiji, and President William Ruto. And each person had to bring in his people into that cabinet so that they could share. Who did Wamunyoro bring? And you are right to say, only people from the mountain. And by the way, Wamunyoro group, and by extension their leader, Rigiji, is so much into the mountain idea that they lose the bigger picture of nationalism. So that is why when they were making this cabinet composition, he brought 10 out of a cabinet of 22, 10 from the mountain. Because that is his Kenya. His republic is just the mountain. And that is why we said, if this person continues the next 5 years in office, it will be disastrous for our nation. We have to hound him out of office, and we did.
And he never made the appointments. You said he brought 10 people on board.
Right.
10 nominees.
Oh, correct. And
they were nominated by who?
By the appointing authority.
Who is?
Who is the president.
So is he part of the problem as well?
When we are in partnership with you, we are doing business, for example, and we have made profits. And you tell me that out of the profits that we have made, please pay so and so and so and so for me because I owe them debts. Who am I to refuse to pay as you have directed? That is exactly what the president did. Do you fault him for doing that? Those were his shares, and he gave them to his people. And now the president was left with the bigger responsibility of looking at the nation and distributing the little chances he remained with across board. Okay. And that is where the problem is. But let me come to Fred Matiangi.
Yes, please, as you conclude.
No, see, we still have time. Don't conclude.
It's my turn.
Well, there must be an order that you have to finish up, but I could not conclude.
Fred Matiangi, as has been said here, my friends here claim that he has a record. And you were very right to say he ignored, a plethora, let me borrow from your word, of court orders. Deliberately so, because he controlled instruments of security at the time. Coincidentally, 8 police officers who were charged for killing baby Pendo, a very young child, a baby, so to speak, who offered no threat to anyone, was killed in a gangland style in Kisumu by police officers who have now been set free by the ODPP due to lack of evidence, who was in office at the time when all these atrocities were being meted on our people, Fred Matiangi. And I listened to him carefully, talking in Wamunyoro grounds, and he was very clever, that he only talked about his achievements within the National Examination Council, because he knows outside that, he has serious imperfections on upholding human rights. And that is how many Kenyans died as a result.
Yes, Honorable Mbui.
No.